All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. Truly appreciate the support. We're back at it with the latest FSD version for hardware 4, 13.2.9 on the latest software build, 2025 14.7, which most of you might have gotten, but hopefully most of you have gotten 13.2.9 by now if you're on hardware 4. And I have to take a quick trip to New York. I'm going to go through the Holland Tunnel. I'm just finished supercharging here, so I'll put up the cameras here, and I'm going to just take it for a quick spin in New York to see what progress has been made for New York City in version 13. So we're at 2.9. We came from 2.8, which is really good. We had that for a long time. Now we have 2.9, which introduced pretty much everything the same, with the exception of some reduced driver attention monitoring nag. And that is just, again, just giving you some more leeway and freedom to manipulate things on the screen without it yelling at you. It still will yell at you if you stare at the screen for too long, just a little bit more forgiving, making the drive a lot more relaxing. So we're going to get on the road right now, take it for a quick spin, right from the supercharger, see what it does, and go from there. A little overcast today. Hopefully we don't get hit with any crazy showers, but starting to drizzle as I pull out. Sees this car, giving some hesitation here. One of the things I noticed about 13.2.9, which I'll just now refer to as 2.9, is the fact that it's a little bit more timid than 2.8 somehow, some way. And I think it also just made the wrong turn, but let's see what happens. Let's let this car go through. I'll let it do its thing in the parking lot. Just a little bit more timid than it was in previous builds, a little bit more assertive. Now it's kind of taking its time a little more, being a little bit more cautious, which is okay, just notably different than 2.8. See how slow and methodical it's going through this parking lot? 2.8 would have already gone through here, no problem, with a little bit more confidence, but car coming. Just trying to squeeze through, blocking up the lane, my bad. See how methodical it's going right now. Don't know if I need to raise up here. Hopefully it goes slow. Okay, cool. And we're gonna be off. So New York City, midday about, and cloudy, overcast, weekday situation. Let's see what happens with FSD. I'll fast forward to the boring parts. Good anticipation of the light changing. It started to creep up a little bit as the light was getting ready to change. I don't know if it knew it was going to change or not, but that was pretty cool. Other things that are persistent from 2.8 are the no turn on red. Still does no turn on red. Wonder what that's going to be like in New York City now. I've done New York City on 2.8. I have not done it on 2.9 just yet, so it'll be our first time doing it. And let me just check my route here. All right, we're still good. Still good. See that? A little overly cautious here. Little encouragement here. Accelerator press. That's been a constant with 2.9, not so much with 2.8. So I don't know if it's I guess you'll call it a regression because it's just new behavior that it's not been doing before. But interesting nonetheless. So one encouragement so far, no disengagements, and we've not even gotten to New York City yet. Details of the profile are in the description below. We're on hurry, as you can see. Standard offset of 40%, and the rest is in the details. I'm hearing some notes of Cybertruck having issues on this build, hugging the left lane line, going over the left lane line, similar to how we did when we went to Brooklyn. If you remember, we went to Brooklyn, did over an hour drive, and just over the hour mark as we went to Brooklyn, past Manhattan, the car started to act a little weird. Now that wasn't 2.8, but I hadn't really taken longer than hour drives on 2.8. But after that point in time, it started to slow down significantly. be really sluggish and really hug the left side of the road where parked cars were. If you guys remember that video, I'll link it so you can take a look. Seemed like, you know, it was the computer was overheating, but I think what someone mentioned was it was more like a memory leak where something happened. The car was compromised, maybe needed to cool off or reset or reboot or something. But it just seemed compromised, and the car was really getting on the left side. So I'm hearing that now with Cybertruck now. They're getting a lot of people, or some people, not a lot of people, who are saying that it's starting to hug that left lane line a lot. So interested to see what that might be, what the cause of that might be. I may have to adjust the settings, make sure I don't have any avoid tolls or avoid highways on here. Should be all good. About a 30-minute drive. Hopefully we're gonna get quicker when I fast forward to the parts for you guys. The video is not 30 minutes. But aside from those issues, everything has been consistently smooth, on point, on par with 2.8. Again, the biggest thing for this build that's undocumented is just that little bit more leeway with the driver attention monitoring. Good job. Look at that perceptive maneuver here, because this road is blocked off and somehow it saw that and got over early. That was pretty cool. I like that. Little construction zone action happening. Good job following the cones and or the cars, whichever. It's all good. Little hesitation as that pedestrian walked towards the curb. Now again, this is going to be the reason why specifically I'm testing this one is because that hesitation is going to be a big problem in New York City, as people are always on the edge of the curb, always in the street, and if it has that constant slow down, speed up, slow down, in anticipation of that, that could be a problem that they need to address. And again, seems like a regressive feature so far. Some political signs here. We don't talk politics on here, but a lot of signs. I don't think anyone's going to miss these signs. So many of them. Don't think this is the speed limit, but I'm just gonna, just bumped to 75 max. It was at 49 max, now it's 79 max. Let me drop down to 65, just in case. I think the speed limit is like 40 here, then it goes to 50. Okay, 35. I mean, it's the max. I put the max in. It's not going to the max. It's going to the hurry profile, which is that 40% offset. So it's just driving to that speed, into the speed of traffic. once we get closer to these cars up here, it should give us a better sense of what the true speed of traffic is going to be in this area. Obviously making its maneuvers in hurry mode. Not uncomfortable, just a little bit jarring as it's going that fast. Obviously I can control that, no big deal. And here's where I noted that it starts to ramp up. So it's 35 here, then it'll go a little faster once we get the bridge. So 43 is a proper offset here. It's a good speed to be. Even 45, 10 miles an hour over based on my profile. Use your discretion. Don't blame the car. Say the car is going faster. It's your discretion on what you want the offset to be or what you want the profile to be. I'm in hurry. You could be in standard. You could be in chill, whatever the case may be. And you could also set your custom offset based on where you live and how, people drive. And of course, the law. Good speed control over here. Super sharp turn. Took it very nicely. It's not quite going the direction, if you guys can see here, it's not quite going the directions of the navigation. It's kind of taking its own route. I thought it was in the wrong lane. I didn't want to say anything. And then it kind of made its own way. So that's very interesting. I'll flag that just because it kind of deviated from the path that it was supposed to be in. I don't know why, maybe traffic or whatever. But typically when the car deviates, if it's in sync, FSD and nav is in sync, the nav will change and FSD will follow that route. In this instance, FSD took its own route and the nav adjusted at the last minute. All right, gotta stop here. This is a wider turn that buses typically take. Did not stop at limit line. So I'll make that adjustment. I'll flag it as well. This intersection right here is where buses will typically make this turn. So they usually have the cars in this lane stop here. So it gives them that leeway to make that turn. Didn't seem to adhere to that in this one. So I kind of wanted to creep all the way up, which again, could be okay if there's no buses, but if there's a bus, that could be a problem. So one intervention, one encouragement so far. Again, not even in New York City just yet, so we'll see what happens. I'll re-engage once we get to the light, just in case it has that same desire to move forward towards the light. So that on red behavior is still an issue. No turn on red, Stop at the limit line further back. Again, a little bit of an edge case, but still a real deal in certain areas. So we are blocked. It should not go because we're blocked on the left, whereby the light is going to change. We're going to kind of get stuck here anyway. Took a go forward. There we go. Cars are moving. Took a go forward at the last minute. I'm okay with that because the cars were moving now. Nice and assertive. And then we'll start our funnel into the tunnel, or towards the tunnel. Nice maneuver. Guess I got the cameras instead. All good. Truck is here. What are we gonna do, truck? Good job getting past the truck. And here we go into the tunnel. Big pothole, unavoidable. Just keeping an eye on the distance. It seems kind of close to the left. It's course correcting now. Getting some distance there. You start to see there. Keeping it nice and center, which is great. I like it biasing towards the line, like the car in front of us is biasing towards the line, because it's just like a gutter in this like metal piece. Now it's drifting a little bit towards it. This metal piece that will damage and destroy your wheels if you hit it. Good job. Feel the micro adjustments a little bit more here, as necessarily so, just because, again, tight quarters in this tunnel. This is a 2-lane tunnel, just like the other one is 2-lane, but this one seems a little tighter than the other one. Now we're at that certain depth underwater where you get poor GPS location accuracy message popping up here, just because we're so far underwater. Has a hard time pinpointing us. Again, very relaxing, just being conscious of that side wall there and the wheels. It's doing a really good job handling it. And again, just for your understanding, I have switched out my 21s and got the 19. So if it does hit, it's not the end of the world. If it was the 21s, it would be the end of the world, but it's the risk we take. A little bit over the line. I'm okay with that behavior in service of, again, not infringing on anyone, but also just giving us some good distance away from the edge of this tunnel. This is not a good situation for a tunnel to have this type of construction. Should be something a little bit more forgiving, something softer, foam, something round, something that is not so jarring. See what happens here at the end of the tunnel. Can't make a lane change. What is it going to try to do? Until I get to the dotted section. Signaling, and now I'm at the dotted section. Now I can make the lane change. Let's see what it does, because we do need to make the lane change. Okay, it's going to stay put, and it's just not going to be the right lane it needs to be in, but let's just see what it does. Now it's going to try to get over. It needs to slow down and get over. Still signaling, but not making the right action of slowing down and getting over. Okay, now it's trying to squeeze in between these two cars. This car's coming up hot. It's gotten over now. Needs to probably get over one more, but I guess it can take this one too. There we go. All right, so not terrible, but not the greatest, right? So what could it have done differently? It could have staged that lane sooner, gotten over sooner, slowed down to get over sooner than later, and then could have gotten over to the next lane, which led into this lane, as opposed to getting over at the last minute. Again, not heavily dense traffic right now, so didn't need to wait to the last minute. Could have done that early. So staging early is definitely something that could have done here better. Again, New York City. Weird conditions, coming out of a tunnel and just going all the way around like that. Very odd. Good job taking that. So I'm not flagging it because it wasn't the wrong behavior. It was just not the ideal behavior. Did everything the right way, the way, an Uber driver would do it, potentially, or a taxi driver, or someone of that nature. But definitely not a professional car service. Professional car service would have staged it early, so it's not a race to get to that lane to be able to get over. Those are little small nuances or differences where I give it uber black, right? Not professional car service, especially in this area. Now we're in a turn only lane. We need to get over. Needs to be assertive to get over. A little less assertive, this build, I'll say. I said a little bit more timid, but maybe it's a little less assertive. Maybe that's the different way to look at it. Green light, good to go. Make this left, flashing yellow, different condition. Obviously watching out for pedestrians and cyclists. Pedestrian coming. Moving very slow and odd as his family dawdles across the street. That's okay. Everyone had little kids, or people who have little kids know. All good. Good job waiting for him and not overreacting for this lady standing in the middle of the road. That's a great job. Almost at our destination. Couple more turns. Green light, cyclist coming down and back this way, the same way on the same street. What's going to happen? Slows down nicely for the guy to get back over. He's weaving through traffic, gives him enough room. Now should proceed because we have another one on our heels. Getting ready to give it an encouragement, but didn't, so good to go. People over the double yellow line. No problem for FSD. In the wild world of cyclists, no problem for FSD. Good job. Stopping well before the limit line here, giving extra respect to the pedestrians crossing. I'm not mad at that. Some people might be concerned. They might want to get right on the line. I'm okay with it not being right on the line. Grandma, don't go. Good job waiting and not just taking off. Grandma wasn't paying attention. Yellow, it's going to take it. A little slow for my taste getting through the yellow, but it's okay. Got through it. Good job waiting on this yellow because we didn't have enough speed and momentum to go through, so good. Good job. Super smooth, super comfortable so far. Once we're in New York City, obviously the things I mentioned and noted, but again, still super comfortable. I've not touched the yoke. I've not really had to touch the pedal minus the encouragement and the disengagement, but that was before we got to New York. But once in New York, it seems fine, and it can handle most of the situations in New York. Again, just random situations where I'll do this one. Okay. Can we go, please? I tried. FSD cannot beep the horn. It's a green light. This one is out. The other one is on. He's too far under to see it. FSD cannot beep or does not beep the horn. I'm not say cannot, but does not. It's not allowed to, I guess. So that was just me. I don't think that was an intervention. That was more just me letting the driver know to go. Quick left and a right here. I think this is the left and the right. Let's take a look. Yeah. See what happens here. We're going to get caught in this light. All good. And it's starting to rain. Good job stopping. Good job stopping. Don't take that. So this is always an interesting scenario because you have so many different lights pointing in so many different directions. FSD does a great job of highlighting the ones that are controlling for him or for us, right? And making sure we know which ones are red for us versus green, because he could have easily seen that and thought green and go. Earlier builds of FSD would do something like that. This one does not. Turn on the wipers here. I noted on X that I did a heavy downpour driving, not the video, but I did driving in the heavy downpour with FSD. It didn't show me FSD degraded, just like it's not showing me FSD degraded now. It just said maximum speed limit is reduced, limiting how fast you go in the rain. So that was great that it was still able to operate. Obviously, if your cameras are covered or obscured by lots of rain or debris, it's not going to work. It's going to give you FSD degraded. But if it's a scenario where it's just rain, they're clear, like ours are clear, and it's just a lot of rain coming down, it actually works pretty well and doesn't reduce auto lane change. What do you want me to do? You can drive or you not drive? What do you want me to do? Oh no. Come on, bro. Everybody's trying to go. And then now we have to go. Come on. Go, 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 go. I'm sorry, guys. Bad Tesla. So this is the sluggishness I'm talking about, where it's like it's a little timid. Drivers want you to be a little bit more assertive in New York City. So you guys can see what's going on here. And it's just kind of taking its time meandering through that double intersection where lots of cars are jammed up. So again, not the wrong thing to do. It didn't do anything wrong, but it becomes a problem for the drivers around you, and that can cause a problem for you, especially in New York City where you have very aggressive drivers, not assertive, but aggressive drivers, to the point where violence can ensue. Slowly going around this car. I'm going to give it some encouragement here just to not incite an incident. 2 encouragements here. Chinatown. So again, speed limit is set to is registering as 20. I don't think that's accurate right now, and I think that might be the cause of the slow movement in this area. It definitely should not be 20. It should be at least 25 on this main road here. But yeah, customers were not happy. People were not happy. Coming up to our destination here, we're almost done. Don't think there's going to be any parking, but interested to see what FSD will try to do. Might just circle the block, not sure. But we're effectively here. Just gonna try to pull over here where this van is pulling over. I'm gonna take over here and call it a day. Yeah, that's kind of it. So, pretty decent. Make this turn. Not quite 4 p.m. here. Conditional signs, no left turn, 4 p.m. to midnight. I don't know if it can register that right now. But yeah, so far, it seemed pretty decent drive. Not the greatest, not the best we've seen in New York City, but again, just representative of what's happening in New York City right now with FSD, where it is, what it understands, what it sees, what it recognizes, where the correlation between map data, speed limit data, speed limit data are. I can put my hazards here real quick. But let me know your thoughts in the comments about this video. What do you think, how you think it did? If you have 2.9, have you seen any major regressions from 2.8 in your estimation? Obviously, we noted the Cybertruck issues and some of the other issues, but again, just no turn on red, the slow speed, the meandering, things like that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And until the next time, enjoy your day, enjoy your Tesla.